So let's take a look at what we call an exponential curve calculator. This is the LEAP system, lifetime economic acceleration process. And if you're working with a financial person who's using this, then you're doing a good thing. If not, you want to find one. If you have difficulty with finding it, you can reach out to us, raymondjewell.com/meet, and you will see the calendar, and you can set up a half an hour meeting, and I will walk you through it. So if you're looking at the calculator with LEAP on it, and you're working with somebody that's familiar to you, then that's a great thing. Let's move this out of the way right now. So let's look. Let's look at what we call our ideal world, and let's look at present value. Let's assume we have no value, that we're 25 years old, and we're going to retire at 65. So that's 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. That's 40 years. So, and once we retire at 65, our plan is to have a life horizon of 85. And if you want to know what that is, a life horizon is used to determine the range of data shown in the chart below and the table on the retirement tab. The ideal world is a financial scenario where your money grows without any outside interference or eroding factors. Your inside world includes all of your assets and income. If left unencumbered by the outside world, it would grow substantially within substantial wealth in the future. So let's take a look at that. Let's assume that we put away $5,000 a year, and we do that for 40 years, and we're able to earn an 8% interest. So when we look at our 40-year growth, at the beginning of the year, we managed to grow at 8%, 1.290, 1,200,000, almost 300,000 of interest, of growth, and we put away 200,000. So we've grown 1,090,000, because you take away what you actually put in there. And our balance at the end of the year is 1,398,000, almost $1.4 million. So it looks pretty good, doesn't it? This is what a lot of people look at. This is the growth that people look at, and that's it. But as we've been talking about over the many episodes in our show that we've been doing, there are other factors that would enter into it. But if we look at the graph, we have one exponential curve in our life, and this is an exponential curve. And we start out at age 25 with $5,400, and we just keep saving and saving, and we keep saving and we keep saving, and it takes off, and it grows to almost 1.4. We call this the startup phase. This is the beginning of it, and then this is kind of the ramping up, and this is the takeoff. So when you look at this, you look at the exponential curve, and we can see the growth. But let's look at the real world. This is what I've been talking about on all of the shows that we've been going over. The real world impacts it, and the financial people, even the top name financial people that write all these articles, and they don't talk about it. They may talk about a little bit of it, but not a whole lot. So let's assume we've got a 20% tax base. So when we take our 8% average rate of return, that the 20% reduces our net, gives us a net return of 6.4. And so our taxes of $177,725, if we were to look at the opportunity cost of the taxes, it's $488,000. That means what could we have grown those taxes by if we put those away at the same rate of return that we were earning our growth at 8%. So even if in one pocket we grew we grew 1.4 million, our cost that we pay in our taxes every year coming out is 488. If we could have put the taxes away at 8% every year, we would have had 488,000. So we should have had 1.4 plus 488. We should have had $1.9 million. Instead, our net result is $910,000. But one of the things that we need to look at is inflation. Inflation is real, and what does that do to our money? Well, that actually strips away, let's say inflation's 3% up here. So inflation will strip away $631,000 of spending power. So even though we have $910,000 in our pocket, in today's dollars, it's only worth $279,000. So it will grow to $910,000, but the power, the spending power, you know, a car may be a lot higher. Other products that you buy may be much higher. So how far does that $910,000 go? So what we also want to look at, let's look at market risk. So we've got rate declines. Let's look at the market risk, and we're just going to leave it alone, but let's put volatility in there. And let's go back and let's pick some time. 1974 will give us a good indicator of volatility. And so this is, and you can stop the screen right here. You can read all about the sources returns as of 12/30/2019, with the exception of government bonds, which is as of 9/1/2019. Past performance is not indicative of future results. You've heard that disclaimer all over again, but we're trying to give you an idea of the sources where we get our large cap volatility. And if you look at the large cap volatility, our average rate of return was 12.54%. Our net rate of return was 8.35. But because we earned higher money, we have higher lost opportunity cost of $1.9 million, almost $2 million. And the net result is 1.5. If we look at it in today's dollars, we would have $471,000, which translates in future dollars to 1.5 million. So when we look at our growth, we must look at the cost. Our taxes alone are $559,000 because we earn more money. And you're probably saying, well, I'd like to pay taxes. And I'll pay taxes, and $1.5 million is okay. Well, when you look at that, you have to subtract out the 200,000 you put in there. And we're not even looking at fees and consumer costs. We're just looking at the growth. And when you have growth, you have costs. If we were to put in fees, let's say you work with a financial planner and you're paying $1,000 a year in 1% in fees. So then we have fees and advisor fees. I'm not going to put all these in there because I want to take a look at what if. What if you didn't start at age 25? And what if you started at age 45? Well, look at what 20 years does to your program. You have one exponential curve in life. That 20 years can really impact your life. What happens if you start at 55? You really don't have a whole lot of time because time is running out to get to age 64, 65. And what happens if you had to withdraw money? What happens if you did start at 25 and you ended up having to withdraw money periodically? We can program that in there. Um, you can also change your payment. We can look at that too. So when we look at the the unexpected things that can impact your financial world, we have to understand that they're real. Even if you wait to 35, look at drop 45. Horrible. So you want to look at all the things that can impact your financial world. If you're young now, start it now. If you're not, you want to at least look at some what if scenarios that'll get you to where you need to be with all the unforeseen eroding factors. And again, we could program consumer risk in there. We have other risks. We can program all the risks to look at. But you're not going to get this from any financial planner. They're not going to do that. They're more interested in getting your money. The four rules of the financial institutions: get your money, get it on a systematic and ongoing basis, hang on to it for as long as possible, give it back as little as possible. So when we look at this, wouldn't it be nice to have an ideal product that would at least cover a lot of these and give you a major kickstart in your financial world? And we're going to talk about that.